Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves lately, and no, I'm not talking about the latest viral dance trend. I'm talking about New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani getting booed off stage at a pro-police event. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just say this. Personally, I think this moment is way more than just a political gaffe. It's a snapshot of a much bigger cultural and ideological clash happening right now. So, let's break it down. First off, the scene itself is pretty wild. Mamdani, a self-described socialist, shows up to the NYPD's National Night Out Against Crime event on Staten Island, a place known for its strong pro-police sentiment. What many people don't realize is that Staten Island is like the conservative heart of New York City, a place where defund the police rhetoric doesn't exactly fly. So, when Mamdani steps on stage, it's like he's walking into the lion's den. And the crowd? They let him have it. Boos, jeers, chants of "get out of here." It was brutal. What makes this really interesting is how he handled it. He stood there, smiling, waving, almost like he was trying to diffuse the tension with charm. But let's be real, in that moment, charm wasn't going to cut it. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Mamdani's relationship with the police has been rocky from the start. During his campaign, he talked about defunding the police, and once in office, he cut NYPD funding and canceled plans to hire thousands of new officers. From my perspective, this isn't just about policy, it's about symbolism. For a lot of people, especially in places like Staten Island, the police represent law and order, community safety. When you mess with that, you're not just changing budgets, you're challenging deeply held values. So, when Mamdani shows up at a pro-police event, it's like he's stepping into a minefield he helped play. But here's the thing, I think this goes beyond just Mamdani or even New York City. If you take a step back and think about it, this is part of a larger national debate about policing, crime, and the role of government. On one side, you have folks who see the police as a necessary force for maintaining order. On the other, you have those who view the police as part of a systemic problem that needs radical reform. Mamdani, whether you agree with him or not, represents the latter. And the reaction he got? It's a reminder of just how polarized we are on this issue. What this really suggests is that the gap between these two sides isn't just about policy, it's about worldview. One thing that immediately stands out is how quickly things escalated. Mamdani couldn't even get a sentence out before the crowd turned on him. That kind of visceral reaction tells you something about the emotional charge this issue carries. It's not just about politics, it's personal. People feel deeply about this, and when those feelings collide, you get moments like this. Now, let's talk about Mamdani's response. He walked off stage smiling, which, honestly, I found kind of baffling. Was it a strategic move to appear unfazed? Or was it a misread of the room? Personally, I think it was a bit of both. On one hand, staying calm in the face of hostility can be a powerful statement. On the other, it can come off as tone-deaf, especially when the crowd is clearly furious. What many people don't realize is that in politics, perception is everything. That smile? It could be interpreted as dismissive, which only pours fuel on the fire. This raises a deeper question. Can politicians like Mamdani bridge this divide? Or is it too wide? I'm not just talking about Mamdani here. I'm talking about anyone trying to navigate this polarized landscape. The truth is, it's hard. Really hard. Because when you're dealing with issues like policing, you're not just dealing with facts and figures. You're dealing with people's fears, their experiences, their identities. And those things? They're not easily changed. A detail I find fascinating is how this moment was amplified on social media. Conservative pundits, influencers, everyone had something to say. Eric Doherty called it a shameful moment, while Joey Manarino said Mamdani got the reception he deserved. Social media has a way of turning local incidents into national spectacles, and this was no exception. But here's the thing, while it's easy to get caught up in the drama, we need to ask ourselves, what does this moment actually mean? Is it just another chapter in the culture wars, or is there something more to it? In my opinion, this is more than just a political skirmish. It's a reflection of where we are as a society. We're divided, not just on policy, but on fundamental values. And until we find a way to have these conversations without resorting to boos and jeers, we're going to keep seeing moments like this. So, here's my closing thought. What if, instead of seeing this as a victory or a defeat, we see it as a wake-up call? A reminder that we need to find common ground, even when it seems impossible. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. Whether you're pro-police, anti-police, or somewhere in between, we've got to figure out how to coexist. Otherwise, moments like this? They're just the beginning.